years. I've lived in Frankfurt all my life, in 3 different houses. Moved to Frankfurt from Lamana Junction in 1948, 1940. The grandmother, yes, she had a dress shop in Rochester, I think, and they came from England. And my grandpa was 4 years old when they came. They had a little tin bath they'd bring in and put by the fireplace. And they did just add water to it. And the girls went first, of course, the nice pretty girls.
I'll never forget, because Dad never had a car, and we used to have to walk to school of a Monday. And in those days there was no sealed road out there, it was a gravel road. And Lois and I, we used to have to walk. And all from home to school, and then we'd stay with Nana during the week and then walk home on a Friday, unless the milk car came home a bit earlier and they'd take us home. And I think they'd both agree with me. The changes in Frankfurt in the last, say 60 years anyway, has been quite astronomical, haven't they?
Yes.
It was quite a big place because it had 3 churches, 2 halls, what else did it have? And nearly 2 shops at one stage. It did have 2 shops at one stage and 2 service stations. Very famous for potato growing. It was renowned as a potato growing area and sawmilling, of course. There was quite a dispute some years ago over the fact that there was 2 halls in Frankfurt, and the people that was on the committee of the top hall, as it was called, and the bottom hall, they didn't agree with one another too much. Murray'd remember that too. And there used to be a few arguments, but jealousy was a lot of it, yes. But ultimately it worked out for the best, and I think people realised that it was important to keep the community together. The original Frankfurt Memorial Hall burnt down. I was about 5 or 6 when that happened.
Stephen was called a dance after.
We'd dance up to about 10 o'clock and then we had to sit down because the parents
had to dance, yes. That's a good idea. I mean, once upon a time, Glengarry had a dance and Frankfurt had a dance and Burleigh had a dance. The whole 3 halls would be packed out.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen anymore.
We walked 7 miles in a day back and forth to school.
Mary had a bike.
I didn't, but it was always flat.
Yes, and where it wasn't flat, she double dipped me down on the bar. Down the road, and I'd get home fairly early.
You were lucky I wasn't allowed to do that.
I wasn't allowed, and Mum would have caught me, but...
Well, I wasn't allowed either because I didn't have brakes on my bike. and we came off in front of old Mick Lynch's place.
On the corner.
Margaret came on top, and so I got the new skin.
Particularly, I can remember Lois at 4 and a half, she started to milk a cow by hand, and of course in those days we only had, I think, 15 cows, but they were all milked by hand in those days. I've noticed over the years the people that have lived in Frankfurt, if once they pass 70 or a bit more and they've got to be moved out, they don't last long once they leave here. Bring them back and I reckon they'd still be okay. But the nice thing that I remember about school that we used to get, I can't remember if it was a Friday or a Monday, when the milk fellow would come along with the milk in the bottles, you remember?
At the time, sometimes you'd hide behind a tree going up our road because it was a three-quarter of a mile or so up the road, and you'd hide behind a tree when you heard a car coming, and you'd find it was your uncle or somebody else you could have got a ride with.
A car to go along the road, and I'm probably talking 1950 or thereabouts, 50 to 1960. You'd hear one coming for quite a long way off, or there'd be a mad rush to get out to the side of the road to see the car go past, because you just didn't see one. But there's always something to do. I look at kids that live in some of the even suburban areas of Launceston and around, even Exeter. They come home from school, they play around for a minute, bored, they've got nothing to do. We were never bored that I can remember. There was always something to do. The Franklin is there, and the house that used to be on the corner, you didn't walk up there in the dark, did you? Because there was ghosts there. It was haunted, yes.
Yeah.
They used to tell me that they'd laugh at me, the girls would get together and they'd be laughing at me, you're going to go past the cemetery, you're going to, the ghosts will get you tonight.
Yeah, oh yeah. The other thing was, it didn't matter whether it was that end or this end or whatever. If someone was sick, nearly every woman, and I say woman, in the district would go along and take something to eat or go and visit people. And that was the thing, if anyone new came to Frankfurt, moved in, the whole district would eventually bit by bit turn up and welcome individually to the district. That seems to have gone a bit in the last few years. Communities like what we're talking about now, Frankfurt and the West Homer area, and probably every other area, look back and think, well, someone's got to stand up and pull it back into here. And you do. Well, I wouldn't change it.
No, I wouldn't change my life. I don't know what else I'd go to if I did.